Hello and welcome to the Uninformed College Football Rants podcast. It's already week 6. We have some big games lined up today, including Kansas TCU and the Red River Showdown. We begin with my personal top 10. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Michigan. 3, USC. 4, Ohio State. 5, Georgia. 6, Oklahoma State. 7, Ole Miss. 8, Penn State. 9, Clemson. 10, Tennessee. And our runner-ups are 11, Utah, and 12, Kentucky. What do you think of that?
Well, are you going to introduce our guest and tell about his location?
Of course, and we have a live report from the Cotton Bowl. John Covert, Texas superfan. What do you have to say?
How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
You know what? The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day in Dallas. And if Texas can't win today, we never will.
Right.
Yeah.
Their defense is, a mess.
Their defense couldn't stop anything. The quarterback doesn't look to be playing. I think today's the day.
If y'all just show up and do the basics, execute on the basics, you're going to be fine.
Well, last year we had a 24-point lead that we blew, so
yes,
I'm hopeful today that Coach Sark just pours it on.
You and mean Uncle Brent will not be comfortable until there's 2 minutes left and about a 22-point lead, but hopefully you'll get there.
I pray. I pray.
Yeah, maybe 2005, but I really can't remember the last time Texas beat Oklahoma. I bet there are plenty of people at the retirement home who can, but they haven't beaten them for a long time.
We beat them my senior year in 2019, but we've lost in a row. It's been a rough stretch. This is the first time we've been favored since 2009 again.
What's the crowd vibe like there, John?
Texas fans seem very happy to be here. Fans seem like they're sad to be here, and it's obligatory.
Yeah, because, TCU just beat them pretty bad.
Their defense is one of the worst we've seen.
Yeah, I think that USC took all of their good defensive players.
USC took all their good in general.
Yeah.
1 second, guys. I got to skate a ticket.
Okay, let's move on to the larger agenda. Oh, we lost him. He'll call back. So while we can continue with the podcast while he's offline for a second.
Hey.
Sorry, I just scanned my ticket to get to the stadium real quick.
Excellent. So Jack, what are the rest of the topics you want to cover today?
So, the rest of my topics are Brent Venables. Will it work out with OU?
I think he's already answered that one. I think he's just not head coach material.
They don't give you a little bit of lead time to figure it out?
Not when your last 4 coaches at Oklahoma have all been incredible coaches.
Who did they have? Lincoln Riley, Bob Stoops. Who was that one guy?
It's really just those two. But when you have back-to-back coaches for 30 years.
Well, John, as you know very, very well, it's emotionally rewarding to fire the bad coach, but that's not really the issue. The issue is replacing the bad coach with a rock star, and that's a lot easier said than done.
Absolutely. And programs like OU and Texas take it for granted, think it's easy. And USC, and I can promise you that it's not.
Okay,
now have a perfect formula.
Now on to our next topic. Also today is Alabama and A&M. It happened last year. Can it happen again?
No. There's one word answer for that question.
Yeah, I agree. I can't really take a team that beat that lost to Mississippi State and Appalachian State, I don't take them very credibly. I mean, sure, they can shock you, but, I mean, they took some big losses already. And they weren't even to teams you've really heard of. They lost to one of the worst teams in the SEC and a Sun Belt team. Everyone got really excited when they beat Miami, but then they lost to Middle Tennessee State. So, I mean, are they really that impressive?
Who could have seen Miami being overrated?
Yeah, Miami was pretty overrated this year.
Are you gonna, John, do you expect a savage beatdown of epic proportions for revenge purposes?
1,000%. Well, I don't know if y'all remember, but in the offseason, Jimbo Fisher called out Nick Saban a cheater and a scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the godfather of college football will forget that one.
So
especially from a former assistant. I think Coach Saban might leave the starters in the whole game.
And another thing is, sure, is Bryce Young out? But I bet that their backup is better than every single player on the A&M team.
For sure, that guy has amazing wheels. Amazing wheels.
He's very strong. He was committed to Texas until Alabama.
So
I
John,
know too much about Jalen Milroe, but he's a very good player.
John, there's a chance, and I'm knocking on wood to forestall the jinx. There is, so I'm not jinxing you, but you have to acknowledge that there is the possibility that you could have a really happy day where not only did Texas soundly thrash its loathed rival, but then A&M could suffer a humiliating next level smackdown.
Absolutely. Well, last year it was on superfan Mean Uncle Brent's birthday when Texas blew a 24-point lead and A&M took down Alabama. And he was quoted as saying it was the worst day in the history of his life on his birthday. So it has the opportunity to be the greatest day ever, but it also has the opportunity to be a really rough day.
Okay, so now pivoting to a topic that is a little bit frustrating for you, but more a topic of dismay.
Kansas and TCU are both undefeated. What do you think?
And game day is in Lawrence.
Yeah, who would have seen on the day of the Red River and Alabama A&M that game day would be at TCU, Kansas? I'm sorry, we've got some chants going on.
Yeah, I mean, TCU, their offensive coordinator is Lincoln Riley's brother, so, I expected something. And,
so here's the deal. We're rooting really hard for Kansas so that when people look back in the record books and see that Texas has lost to them twice in the last 5 years, that people don't realize they were the worst team ever.
Kansas, if you had told me last year at this time of year that Kansas would be undefeated a year later, I would not believe it.
Yeah, they've won more games this year than the last 4 years combined, I think, is what it is.
Oh, God. Wasn't their only win last year against Texas in DKR?
I think they won one other, and they have been their only win against a Division I team.
Yeah.
But I think they at least won another game.
Well, maybe that loss to Kansas wasn't so bad, because, hey, what if Kansas is good?
Yeah, I'm rooting for them. It's a fun story.
Yeah. Kansas is 5-0, so, who's their coach? Is it still Les Miles, or did they fire him?
No, it's Coach. He was at the storied program of Wisconsin Whitewater, which that's half joking, but he did win 4 straight national titles in D3 with them, so he knows how to run a program.
I guess. Now on to our last topic of today. LSU and Brian Kelly. What do you think of that?
But they played Mississippi State today, is that right?
I think so. Who just beat A&M, but maybe it was a fluke.
I think Brian Kelly is a jerk. I don't think he's a nice person, but I think he knows how to win football games.
Yeah, he can coach, but I remember at Notre Dame, he was not the kindest of people. And then I remember, of course, his TikTok dance to get recruiting and his fake Southern accent at his introduction.
I respect Jackson. You gotta respect him that he's trying to fit in. But he sure seems like an outcast in Louisiana.
I am here with my family, and I am so happy to be a Tiger.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.
So, John, I have one last question from me. So I've been trying to convince Jack that Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baja Men would be the best theme song for the Uninformed College Football Rants. How do you feel about that?
I think that's the perfect song.
Yeah.
I think that has to be the song. If it's not the Eyes of Texas, I think it has to be that.
So let's be honest here for the last thing. Who is your pick for the Texas-Oklahoma game? Be honest. Who do you think?
What's your prediction? Who and by how much?
By 21.
Texas or Oklahoma?
Texas wins by 21. I think that Oklahoma's bad. I think that Coach Sarkisian has been thinking about. So when we blew this lead last year, we then lost 6 games in a row.
You know what I think? Texas by 3. Believe it or not.
Texas by 3.
Yeah.
You'd still take it.
Yeah, as long as we win, I don't care what the score is.
Yeah, as long as they win, even if it's in like triple overtime by 1, I mean, you'd probably take it.
Thanks for calling in from the for the first game day for the Uninformed College Football Rants.
Thank you guys for having me. It's a great day of college football.
That is it for this week. We will be back next week for the USC-Utah game. See you.